What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of From Quitters to Winners, the education series where we help you improve student outcomes using mental health tactics. And today we're talking about some not so clear signs of mental health. So some of the things that's very overt, that's very clear, are things like a panic attack, things like psychosis, things like dissociation, like some of those things that you can see very clearly that a student is going through a mental health crisis, right? But I believe that if we're able to recognize some of the silent signs, we might be able to intervene and help the students quicker. And when I'm doing these type of trainings, it's very helpful. So I'm bringing it to you. Now, I'm not going to go over the whole gambit, but I'm just going to go over three very simple ones that are, if you're paying attention, you're going to be able to identify. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the first one that I want to talk about today is physical decline. Cameron, what do you mean by that? So what I mean by that is if you have a student who you know typically keeps themselves together, like haircut, clothes ironed, nails done, hair done, everything did, you know what I'm saying? But all of a sudden, you're seeing consistently a lack of hygiene. Yeah, like consistently, like you're seeing them wearing the same, and I'm not talking about school uniforms, the same clothes over and over again. Like you can kind of get close to them and tell they haven't showered, they haven't brushed their teeth, they're not taking care of so why is that a red flag? Well, you see, when a person, not even just a student, is going through a mental health crisis, sometimes they don't care about their physical well-being. Like they're so preoccupied, they're so traumatized, they're going through so much that they just forget to take care of themselves. And then they end up neglecting their hygiene, neglecting their hair. The things that they typically take care of, they just end up putting that on the back burner. And so if you can notice that, like, and again, this means that you're going to have to watch and get to know the students' patterns and know their regularities. But if you're seeing like a student who had haircuts clean, pristine, week after week after week, then you see week after week after week after week, he's not having a haircut, he's always in disarray. Oh yeah, that student might be going through something. So things like that, physical decline. The second thing is an alert nervous uneasiness. What I mean by that is they get completely shaken up by maybe the smallest things, or they don't respond like very directly, they don't respond confidently, they respond very timidly, very skittishly, like something is going to happen if I respond the wrong way. And typically people who go through things like that, they've usually been around somebody who's very explosive, or they live with somebody who's very unpredictable. And so when they go into the world, when they interact with other adults, they are a little skittish, they're a little hesitant. So that nervous, uneasy feeling that they constantly have, they operate in a constant state of that. Yeah, they probably need to talk to somebody. The school counselor, a therapist like myself, yeah, they need some help. So, and it's up to you as a teacher to form that relationship, make them know that you're a safe adult so that eventually you're able to help that transition of a student like that. But let's get into number three. Number three is social withdrawal. Now, this one might be a little bit clearer because some people are social butterflies. They're very, they talk a lot in class. And I'm not talking about the troublemakers. I'm talking about those who are very engaged in class, who like comment on everything, or they, they're very, talk to a lot of people, or they hang out with certain people. If you see students like that change, and I don't mean like slowly year after year, I'm talking about like sudden, like they go from being the person who's constantly like talking about everything, and we love those kind of students. But if you see like a drop off in behavior, like they don't do anything, they're not engaged, they're withdrawn, they kind of stay to themselves, they don't want to meet with people at lunch, but they kind of just stay drawn to themselves, and then they do it consistently over and over again, yeah, that student probably more than likely has something going on. And here's the thing that I need you to understand about all three of these things. It's not your job to be a therapist, but it is your job to be probably one of the most important adults in their life. And the reason you're one of the most important is because you're with these students day after day after day after day. So you have the opportunity to become a trusted adult, to build that bridge of connection like we always talk about, and really make a difference in their life and make it known that, hey, somebody at this school cares about you. I care about you. I care about your well-being, and I want to help you get the help that you can really need. So I want to challenge you to just pay attention. Pay attention to the normal patterns of your students so that eventually when they get off course, that's when you'll be able to engage with them so that you can help. All right. Now, if you've noticed any other mental health signs that were maybe a little bit silent side, I want you to comment it down below and share this with the educator that really could use this, because that's the only way we're going to help students across the nation go from a quitter to a winner. I'll see you guys next week.